What's up, YouTube? Rose City Sports Cards. We are back for a special Father's Day episode, Cooking with Dad. It's Father's Day, and I'm over here at my dad's house. We're going to be making a homemade clam chowder recipe. All it takes is potatoes, onions, and celery. We use bacon so that we can get a nice roux from the grease, sauteing the vegetables. Then, of course, you have your clams. I use a couple of cans of chopped clams and a can of whole baby clams, some clam juice, as well as whole milk and some half and half at the end to give it that creaminess. So join us for a fun time and hopefully a successful recipe. Let me introduce you to my dad real quick. Hey, Papa.
Hey,
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
All our viewers are out there enjoying Father's Day, I hope. And let's have some fun over here in the kitchen over at my dad's house. So the recipe says it calls for 5 strips of bacon to be crisped. We're making a large batch, so I went ahead and went with a couple extra slices. We cut them in half so that they'll fit in the pan easier. But once you crisp the bacon, we'll then use the grease to make our roux. That'll be the next step in the process. So guys, after having crisped the bacon, we've used the bacon grease to saute our onions and celery. You want to saute them for a good 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how much you're using. This is quite a bit, so it's taken a good 15 minutes to get that translucency and color on the onions. That's when you kind of know that it's good and sauteed. So at that point, you'll slowly add flour. With this much, I think a quarter cup will probably be enough to get a nice roux. You want it to sort of thicken up like a paste. And so you'll stir in you want to continually stir, so I'm going to go ahead and pause for now, but we're going to get this to paste up before we add our liquids. Once you've achieved kind of a pastiness to your vegetables, then you can go ahead and add the liquids. We've got some clam juice that we're going to use and the juice from the cans of clams, which I'll add at this time. While you are adding the liquids from your clams to the saute onions and celery, you'll want to do so very slowly so that you can stir it in as you go along, just adding a little bit of liquid at a time so that you can keep the thick consistency of this liquid. If you pour it all in right once, it's going to dilute it too quickly and you'll end up with too soupy of a saute going. And so by stirring it in really slowly, you'll have kind of a thick, liquidy mixture that you're going to bring to a simmer, and then we'll transfer it to the soup pot and add the potatoes at that time. Having slowly simmered the sauteed onion and celery mixture with the clam juices for about 10 minutes. Notice how it did stay thick. It's not too liquidy at this point. We're going to switch to the soup pan so we can add the milk and potatoes and then slowly simmer it for another 10 minutes, at which point it'll almost be done, and we'll finish it off at the end with the clams and the cream. Now that we've switched to a bigger soup pot, I've added the bacon and the potatoes. And we're going to let that simmer slowly for 10 minutes before we add the clams and the cream and simmer for another 5 just to finish it off. We're almost there. Stay tuned. Alright guys, having added the clams and the cream, we brought it up to a simmer and let it cook for another 5 to 10 minutes just to finish things off. You end up with a nice velvety broth, and looks like the finished product is ready to go. We're going to dish some up and have at it. Thanks for joining us for a little Father's Day cookout. Ready to eat, Dad?
I'm ready.
All right. This is going to be a lot of fun. We will see you again very soon. Rose City Sports Cards, signing out.